Hello everyone, welcome back to your summary guidance. Let's have a quick look on the poem We Are Going by Oodgeroo Noonuccal. Let's move on. We'll be discussing a small introduction about the poem and the poet, followed by the stanza summary along with the mind map and subtitle suggestions for your essay preparation and important points in connection to the summary, also the study questions for your exam preparation. Let's move on to the introduction. So, Oodgeroo Noonuccal was an Aboriginal Australian poet, political activist, artist and educator. Noonuccal was the first Aboriginal Australian to publish a book of verse, We Are Going, in 1964. So, the poem reflects the deep sense of loss and displacement experienced by the Aboriginal Australians due to colonization. Also, the poem captures the erosion of indigenous culture, land and identity. The poem conveys the collective grief and resilience of Aboriginal people and their struggle for recognition and respect in a changing world. Let's move on to the stanza wise summary. The first stanza, it talks about the arrival of the Aboriginal people into a town. They are semi-naked, which highlights their traditional attire, and subdued and silent, indicating their forced submission and loss of voice. So, the phrase all that remained of their tribe underscores the decimation of their population. Also, it describes the Aboriginal people returning to their sacred Bora ground, a site for initiation ceremonies. However, they find it overrun by the white colonizers who are busy and bustling like ants, indicating their overwhelming presence and disregard for the sacredness of the site. Let's move on to the next stanza. So, this stanza highlights the disrespect shown to Aboriginal culture by mentioning a notice from an estate agent allowing rubbish to be dumped at the Bora ground, where they felt those places as the holy one. This symbolizes the erasure and degradation of Aboriginal traditions and sacred sites. So, the place is half covered by trash, erasing traces of their cultural site. Despite feeling alienated, the Aboriginal people assert that the white settlers are the true strangers in their own land. So, this stanza, it talks about the how the Aboriginal people, they have a soul connection towards their native place. Let's move on to the next stanza. So, this stanza clearly points out that the Aboriginal people feel like strangers in their own land while considering the white colonizers as the true strangers. So, when we talk about the Aboriginal people's emotional trauma, where the white settlers, the white colonizers are the true strangers, but they made the Aboriginal people feel like strangers. Despite the invasion, they assert their deep connection to their land and culture, identifying themselves with the Korbora, that is the ceremonial gathering, and the Bora ground. So, their identity is intertwined with the dreamtime stories, legends, past activities and communal life around campfires. So, these are all the things which connects with the Aboriginal culture and heritage. So, this enumeration reinforces their rich cultural identity and deep rooted traditions that are now at risk of being forgotten. Let's move on to the next stanza. The Aboriginal people identity with natural phenomenon. So, here the connection with nature. The people like themselves to natural phenomena such as the lightning bolt and thunder, which represent their strength, power and presence. These elements of nature symbolize their enduring spirit despite the adversities they face. Also, the stanza clearly points out that how the Aboriginal people, they identify themselves with the nature. The thunder, lightning bolt, thunder, quiet daybreak, and shadow ghost. So these are all the things. The identity with natural forces, it emphasizes their intrinsic bond with nature. So they also represent tranquil natural phenomena, and the presence highlighting their harmonious existence with the environment. Let's move on to the next stanza. Here, this stanza clearly points out that the poet mourns the disappearance of the natural environment, wildlife, and cultural practices. The repetition of gone here emphasizes the irreversible loss of their way of life. The concluding line, you can look at the line, and the eagle is gone, you could say the emu and the kangaroo and the bora ring and Corbera are gone, symbolizing the destruction of their cultural site and traditions. Also, key species like eagles, emus, and kangaroos have disappeared from their land, symbolizing the broader environmental and cultural loss. When we talk about the final stanza, the repetition of gone emphasizes and we are going. The concluding line talks about their leaving. It signifies their inevitable displacement and the extinction of their cultural identity. So, the disappearance of the Bora ring and Corbera signifies the erasure of the sacred traditions and cultural gatherings. It's like a final departure. The repeated phrases "we are going" signifies their forced displacement and the disappearance of their way of life. So, the poem concludes with the poignant realization of their inevitable displacement and the extinction of their way of life. So, that's all about this poem. We are going is a deeply moving poem that encapsulates the sorrow of cultural erasure and the resilience of the Aboriginal people. So, when we talk about the stanzas which portrays the profound loss and the enduring connection to their heritage, serving as a powerful reminder of the impacts of colonization. So, that is all about the poem. Let us move on to the key points. This will help you to write your summary. So, you can note all the key points which is directly connected with the summary. Let us move on to the mind map. This will help you to remind the summary, right. So, this will of course, this will help you. You can read out all the topics, and this will connect the entire summary. You can make use of this mind map while writing your essay. Coming to the subtitle suggestions, when you prepare your essay, you can make use of these subtitles and you can explain each subtitle, and you will get a beautiful essay then. And coming to the study questions, these are all the study questions which connects to the discussion so far. So, you can prepare for your exam, and that's all about this poem. And I hope this discussion is useful to you.